guys, and welcome to hopefully the last book haul that I will be doing in a while. I have a lot of books. The first book that I got, I actually ended up getting an ARC of it because I requested it from the publisher, but then before that I signed up for a potential blog tour for the third and fourth book, but then we got accepted and they sent me the book. So it is Shimmer by Paula Weston. I'm actually reading this book and I'm almost done. I started it yesterday. That's how addicted I am to this book and series. But I got an ARC and this is the finished copy, and this book is amazing. This series is amazing. One of the best paranormal books I've ever read. Like, if you've loved Angel Fall by Susan E., you're going to love this series. So I'm on the blog tour for this book as well as the fourth one, Burn, which I'm getting soon. So I cannot wait to dive into that last book after I'm done with this one. Another book that I got is also from Penguin Random House, and it is Ruta Sepetys' Salt to the Sea. I did not read Between Shades of Grey. I actually read her other book, her less known book, which is Out of the Easy, a couple of years ago, and I fell in love with it. I loved her writing, I loved her storytelling. It was set in the 1950s, and she seems to do historical fiction really well, and I loved that book. But this one, I heard that it's a survival novel. It's set, I think, in World War II, and it's 1945, and it just sounded so good, and I trust Ruta's writing, especially for historical fiction, and add in the survival aspect, which is one of my favorite subgenres, I'm in. The last book is one that a family friend that I know, she usually reads YA books, and I kind of introduced her to YA books, but then one day she ended up buying this random book at Costco, and turned out it wasn't YA, and she didn't want it. So because I gave her so many books, she just gave this to me, and the book is Luckiest Girl Alive by Jessica Knoll. This is another mystery thriller, and it says her perfect life is a perfect lie. I've been reading a lot of adult mystery thrillers, so this is going to be read very soon, and it's blurbed by the author of The Fever, and that is a very creepy read too, which I really want to get to also. So there's that. And now I'm gonna get on to the books that I got from my Blogger Ontario friends. Thank you to Brittany and Giselle, because literally all these books are from them, especially Brittany. Like, oh my god. So many books from her. I am so very thankful. So thank you so much, Brittany. Thank you, Giselle. And yes, let's get started. The first three books are books by Jessica Verde. The first one is The Hidden. The second one is The Haunted. And the third one is The Hollow. I'm not even sure if it's in that order, but I think, I don't know. I love the look of these books. I always like giving paranormal books a chance, especially if I have the full series, because some of them are big hits for me. So I wanted to give this one a chance. The next are all ARCs that the girls, specifically Brittany, wanted to pass along, and I actually wanted to give a try. The first one is Madly by Amy Alward. I heard that this book is a big miss or hit for people, so I'm very interested to see what this one's about. The synopsis sounds a bit weird, and it could go into that cliche route. So I'm hoping to see which side I'm on, and hopefully it's the one that liked the book. This next one has been very, very highly praised by so many bloggers, Canadian bloggers, Simon & Schuster, publicists, and a lot of people. And it is The Scorpion Rules by Erin Bow. So I just found out that there is actually a sequel for this book, and everyone's apparently super excited for that. And they all told me that once you pick this book up, you cannot stop reading it. So I do want to pick it up, especially since it is, I think it's a dystopian, or Greta is a duchess and crown princess and a hostage to peace. I don't know, it sounds really cool, and I am willing to give books that are very well loved by a lot of people that I trust a chance. Another one is a cute contemporary that sometimes I just want to pick cute contemporaries because I need to get out of my book slumps, because I seem to be getting into a lot of them. And the book is A Million Miles Away by Laura Avery. Don't know much about this book, and it says perfect fans of Nicholas Sparks, which I do love, and it's a breathtaking story of love and loss. So so this is about her twin sister passes away, and she has a boyfriend that is in, I think he's deployed to Afghanistan. So she ends up pretending to be her sister. So because the guy basically has only his girlfriend is the only thing that keeps him going. So she didn't want to tell him that his girlfriend and her sister died, and then for him to lose like all meaning of life or whatever. So she goes on and pretends to be her sister, which is a recipe for a big mess. So very interested to see how this plays out, to be honest. I'm very excited about this one. Then there's Tangled Webs by Lee Bross, and I personally don't know anything about this book at all. It's set in 1725 London, and that's reassuring for me most of the time. The last arc that I got is On the Fence by Casey West. Love this book. My sister really wanted to read it, so I picked it up from Brittany. Next book is one I'm so excited for because I was actually willing to buy it very soon if I saw it for bargain. And it is Steelheart by Brandon Sanderson. Have not read a Brandon Sanderson book, but I've been reading a lot more fantasy, so I really wanted to give this book, just because it's YA, a try before I jump into his adult books. Next is All Our Yesterdays by Kristen Terrell. And my sister read this book as an ARC before it came out, and she loved it so much, so I was very encouraged to pick it up. Even though it has time travel, I'm not a big fan of time travel, but this book has gotten honestly nothing but good praise when it came out from all the people that I know. The next two books, actually Lynn ended up giving them to me, so thank you so much, Lynn. So shout out for her at Words of Mystery. Given to me because she knows I love reading adult mystery novels, and they are Death Descends on Saturn Villa by MRC Kasassian. And the other one is The Curse of the House of Foskett by MRC Kasassian. And she said that those are like detective, like if you guys have watched Detective Conan when you were young, like I used to be obsessed with that cartoon slash anime, whatever. It was dubbed in Arabic back in the day, so I used to watch it while it was dubbed in Arabic, but then when I grew older and I was very impatient for the TV because they would just keep rerunning the same episodes, I started watching it like English subtitled with like Japanese voiceover, obviously like the normal Japanese dub. It's not really a dub, it's the actual one. Anyways, so I love detective novels, even though they're not really like technically like thrillers or like psychological thrillers. I still love reading them, so I'm very excited to pick these two up. They were a definite surprise from her, so thank you so much, Lynn. I also ended up getting 3 more books from her. One is The Princeling of Nanjing, an Ava Lee novel, and it is by Ian Hamilton. This sounded really good for me when I read the synopsis. It's set in Shanghai, in like China, the power, the elitist like class and all that. I love books set in East Asia. The Far East is just, I don't know, I have this love for them. So I was all for it, and it sounded really, really good when I read it, so I had to pick it up. And again, there's like business issues going on, like a drug business and like a mafia style organization and lots of things, so very excited for this one. Another one is The Wild One by Gemma Burgess. This is, I think, the second book to the Brooklyn Girls series. And apparently it's the final installment, so it could be the third, but it doesn't matter because they're companion novels, so I don't really need to read them in order. This one sounded really good. It's about a girl who's always been good and stuff, but then she finds out that her boyfriend was cheating on her, and she decides it's time to become, or like turn bad, or basically to stop caring about being a goody-goody. So it sounded really cool and really cute, and quick contemporary read, basically the ones that I would love to read, so picked it up from her. The last book that I got from her is No Love Allowed by Kate Evangelista, and this is a Swoon Reads novel. Generally, I don't like Swoon Read novels because they're usually for younger YA, even middle grade, but the synopsis of this one sounded really good for me. Read it ages ago, cannot remember what it's about, but also Lynn actually really enjoyed it, so thanks. Now going back to the books that Brittany gave me. Those next 3 ones are adult books. There is Cecilia Ahern's The Book of Tomorrow. I love Cecilia Ahern's previous book, which I can't seem to remember. I think it had the word tomorrow in the title, but I read it with my friends and I loved it. So I wanted to give Cecilia Ahern like a chance for her other books, and this one is The Book of Tomorrow. Yes, I know P.S. I Love You. I just don't think I'll ever be reading that book just because it's so heart-wrenching, but very excited to pick this one up. The next book is Paula Simmons' The Bronze Horseman. This book has been raved about by so many people. I love, like I said, my historical novels, and historical fiction romance sounded really good, and Annabelle in the book corner just raves about this book non-stop, and I just had to get it. So I'm so excited. I have it in my hands and I really do want to make time to read it. Next book that I got is Kate Atkinson's Life After Life. No idea what this book's about. I'm pretty sure I'm interested in it because I obviously asked Brittany for it, and I know that I read the synopsis, but that was like almost 6 months ago and I remember nothing. 13 more books left, guys. We're almost at the end. I know, this is why this was a very long book haul. The first one is Control by Lydia Kang. I've read this book as an ARC when I got it from Penguin, and I fell in love with this book. Like, it was amazing. Everything I wanted in a book was in this one. The action, the thrill, the friends, the romance. It was perfect. The romance didn't overshadow anything. It was the slow burning kind, and it was just such a good novel. And I just wanted the finished copy. I just never got around to buying it. And then by that point, it was already on for cheap at places, and I'm like, yeah, I have other books that I want since I already read this. So Brittany had it, and I just snatched it up, and I cannot wait to get Catalyst because I need to finish this duology. I really do. I also got Everything That Makes You by Moria McStay. I just know that this is a contemporary novel and something to do, I don't even know, but it sounds like an emotional kind of contemporary, and I'm very interested in reading it. Also got Love Letters to the Dead by Ava Delera, sorry. I read this book for a sort of like online book club, the one that I used to host, and I really enjoyed it. So it was very heartbreaking at times, and I really loved some of the letters that she wrote to some of the famous people. So I really wanted a copy of my own. Then there's Tiger Lily by Jodie Lynn Anderson. I still haven't forgot that Mel from the Daily Prophecy has told me to read this book when we were doing the whole recommending books for each other that I epically failed at. So I've been wanting to get a copy of this. I even put it on my book outlet book thing, but then by the time I went and bought books, it was already sold out, and it kept on getting sold out every time I wanted it. So I'm very excited to read this. I love everything Peter Panish related, so very excited for this one. I heard it's heartbreaking too, so. I then got Erased by Jennifer Rush. I read Altered such a long time ago as an e-arc, and I loved it so much, and I needed Erased, and then by the time Erased came along, I didn't get an e-arc, or couldn't find like an arc or something, and it was at that point where I just request so many arcs and e-arcs that I had no time to read my own book, so I never bothered to buy it. And then now I have it, and it's kind of short, so I have no excuse. I need to read this so I can then try to get the third one and then finish the series. Then I've got The Murder Complex by Lindsay Cummings. I've already read this book, and so has my sister. So my sister actually loved this book, so this copy is actually for her. I asked Brittany for it for her. Deathsworn by Leah Sipus, and this book sounded cool. Like, I haven't read any, like I said, Harper books are a miss or hit for me. Big miss and a small hit for me. So I just never ever end up buying Harper books anymore unless I read them at the library and I love them, but then by that point I'm like, I already read the book, why am I gonna spend 20-something bucks on a book I already read? Dilemma here, right? If only I can tell whether I'm going to enjoy the book or not from the beginning. But I got this because I really wanted to give it a try. And there's Something Strange and Deadly by Susan Dennard. I love Truthwitch by Susan Dennard, one of my favorite books that I read in 2015. So I'm like, maybe I should check this book out. I know a lot of people who love Truthwitch didn't love this one, but I still want to check this one out. We're on to the last 4 books. The Program by Susan Young. My sister read this as an ARC and she loved it, and ever since then she's been telling me to read it. I have the ARCs and I'm like, nah. So now that I have this beautiful copy, there's like no excuse to not read it, especially since this author keeps on writing more books from the same world. So I gotta catch up. Then I got Scarlet by A.C. Gogan. This is a retelling of Robin Hood, if I'm not mistaken, and it's kind of short. I heard really good things about it, so I do want to give it. Last 2 books. Before the last is Faking Normal by Courtney C. Stevens. This book is actually one of the recommendation books, I think, that Jacqueline from YA Bookmark has told me to pick up. So I've been meaning to pick it up. I know it's going to be emotional and I'm going to cry my eyes out, so I need to be emotionally prepared to read this. The last book in this huge book haul is Panic by Lauren Oliver. My sister read this as an ARC. She seems to read all the good books. And she loved it, and my friend read it too, Lubna, and so many of my friends read it and loved this book. So I'm a huge Lauren Oliver fan. I've really liked her Delirium series, but I didn't like Before I Fall. But this one sounds really good, so I want to give it a try. This is it. These are all the books that I have acquired, plus the 3 book hauls in the past couple of months. They are a lot. I am just so happy I'm finally done, because these books were literally like standing in my room for weeks waiting to be filmed so I can put them back on the shelves, and that in itself is going to be a struggle because I don't have any more room on my shelves. I really don't, and I have to then figure out how to put them here, but I don't want to put, like, just stack them all up. I like the setup that I have here. It's a pretty setup of a lot of things that I have, but I'm gonna have to figure out how to do that right now after I'm done with this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know which books you guys want me to put on that priority list. Just recommend me one book out of this whole haul. One book that you loved. Just one. And then I'm gonna see if, based on what you say, it's gonna sway my decision or not. And this is it. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Make sure to check out my other videos and subscribe if you're a new subscriber. And yes, that's it. Have a nice day, guys. Bye.